Can this team win the Super Bowl this year? Start with Steelers.
Ooh, that's actually a really good one.
Nothing's impossible. When I look at the
They're
Steelers,
hot right now, bro.
head coach, tough defense, experienced quarterback,
Correct.
a winner on the outside at the receiver position, a compliment to that winner with Mike Williams
Man.
now. I'm not going to say no on the Pittsburgh
I think
Steelers.
yes. I think yes.
You have to respect them. I would say yes, too.
There's a blueprint
Yeah.
of teams that kind of sneak in the back door and win a Super Bowl. It's dominant D-lines and big play potential in the passing.
Correct. And
They have both of those things with Russell Wilson and George Pickens, that connection, and then the best defensive line in the NFL. So
Yeah.
I think yes.
And then, I mean, they're 7-2. You got to put some respect on their name.
Their
Yes.
style of play travels.
Correct.
Commanders.
This is a week or two ago. I would have said yes, 100%. I just think with the way Philly is, I'm going to say no right now. I'm going to say with the way Philly's playing, right? And you would think for the Commanders, they would probably most likely need to win the NFC East to potentially make a run throughout the playoffs. We've seen Jaden Daniels overcome almost everything. We even saw last week on the last drive, he still almost put it together to get them in field goal range. They were literally, 3 inches away?
He did his job.
Yeah. They've really struggled at the corner position. They literally had to move Mike Sanders still, who was one of the best slot prospects, if not the best slot prospect in this last draft, to the outside because they've struggled so much. I don't think they have enough firepower to make a run at the Super Bowl, especially when you're talking about the Lions, you're talking about the Packers, right? You're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. They're a really good team, but I don't think they have enough to win the Super Bowl.
I'm going to say if they beat the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday,
Ooh.
call me crazy, but
They'll be in first place in the
You
East.
can't have a caveat. Say yes or no. You guys put it out there.
Be definitive.
Can the Washington Commanders win the Super Bowl this year? Yes.
I say no.
They have Jaden Daniels. And you know what? Your rookie quarterback comment, this is the exception to the rule.
He is. He's incredible, and I don't think he's going to panic come playoff time just because he's a rookie. He's unflappable.
It's a
We've
can
seen
they
it.
win, not will they win, people at home. Can they win?
But he's only one man, and this roster is it's behind the 8 ball in the NFC. There's
Oh, buddy.
good roster.
They are so much fun to watch.
They are.
Oh,
Great team to watch.
God, they're fun to watch.
All right, Philadelphia Eagles.
100% yes. Everybody wondered how long it would take for Vic Fangio and his defense to acclimate, right? And they struggled in the beginning of the year, but I don't think there's been a better defense in football the last 6 weeks of the season. And we were talking about rookies. I mean, their 2 rookies, with Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, have played out of their minds this year. Love what I've seen from Nakobe Dean. He's taking a step this year as well.
Zach Vaughn.
And they're just so explosive on offense. People were wondering in the beginning of the year, Kellen Moore, his offense kind of struggled, but again, there's an acclimation period in the NFL where guys have to acclimate to your offense. They finally realized we have to lean on Saquon Barkley. He's an explosive player. Let's get him the football.
Yep.
And anytime you have A.J. Brown, it just opens up everything on the offense. So 100% yes.
I think that they're a team that is built to wear people down offensively at the line of scrimmage. I know that they have such a star-studded cast of characters on the outside at the receiver position. Saquon Barkley is a world beater. Jalen Hurts is playing the best football I've ever seen him play. But the line of scrimmage, if you can dominate that line of scrimmage when push comes to shove in these meaningful months and when football becomes real football, I saw it firsthand playing against the Philadelphia Eagles in 2018. They were a tougher group than us at the line of scrimmage. I feel like they have a tough group on the defensive front and the offensive front. There were questions about that defensive front early in the season. We got to get more production out of these guys. Now the whole unit's coming around. They're starting to get a sense that they can beat anybody. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles can win the Super Bowl this year.
I'm going to be a little bit of a contrarian and say no. I watched this offense with Kellen Moore, and I am not a believer that they can beat the good defenses they'll face when it comes postseason. You just see who they've beaten lately. Giants, Bengals, Jags, Cowboys. These are bad defenses.
Yeah.
They are rolling up bad defenses. I think what we saw from their offense earlier in the season when they couldn't score against the Bucs, couldn't score against
in the first quarter,
the Browns, couldn't score against the Saints. That's what I fear what's going to happen once we get to the postseason and they have to face someone like the Lions defense and all they have. So I do just worry about this offense. Defense has been awesome, though. I can't debate that. Los Angeles Chargers. Can they win the Super Bowl this season?
I think they're a year away. Love, again, what I've seen from Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, and we were talking about their draft picks on Pushing the Pile earlier. When you talk about Steele on the outside, Cam Hart, and these young rookies who are later round draft picks have played really well for them, but there's going to come a case in point where, we always say this in the locker room, like, it's the Jimmy and the Joes, right? You're going to have some guys help you propel yourself to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we just talked about the Philadelphia Eagles. They have guys all around on that roster love like their brand of football to the point we're talking about the Steelers. It travels, right? Physical run game. They play a gritty, physical brand of defense. But eventually, you're going to have some guys that can propel you to a Super Bowl. I think they're a year away.
Yeah. Tough team can beat any number of teams. I think they could beat any team in the National Football League on any given week, but I don't think they could string it together for 5-6 weeks.
They play a brand of football that's winning football, but it's not a brand of football that can go toe-to-toe with a high-powered offense.
Yeah.
If that defense, because the defense just plays great fundamental defense, but there's only so much you can do when you face like a Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, or who they're going to face in the postseason, right? Yeah, so there you go. Ravens. Of course they can win the Super Bowl. I think it's crazy to say they can't. They have the best offense in terms of talent, in terms of production in the NFL.
They can only get better defensively, too.
I was about to say, that's the big concern. That's secondary, right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, they traded for what? Tre'Davious White from the Rams,
but we'll
see where he's at. Yeah. He's been hurt. That's the real concern. They're secondary, right? Anytime you lose the amount of players they did this offseason, when you talk about a Geno Stone, when you talk about losing a Patrick Queen, and then you lose Davion Clowney, losing a key player at each level of defense has really hurt this defense. So I don't know if it's a thing that can get fixed, but to Mike's point, with Lamar Jackson, I don't think it matters in the way that offense is playing.
Buffalo Bills,
Yes.
Yeah.
Is Matt Milano coming back?
That's what I'm saying. So you made that point earlier about the Eagles' offense and when they've played and who they've played. Have you looked at who the Bills have played? Right? And the offenses they've played and the defenses they've played?
We got it coming.
Like, again, you played the Colts where Joe Flacco.
Dolphins are a good defense. They lit them up 30 points on the Dolphins.
I think they're a good defense now because they're healthy.
Seahawks aren't a bad defense. 31 points on the Seahawks. 34 on the Titans. Those aren't terrible defenses.
They're not great, though.
Fell off.
Jets fell off, yeah.
I think the Bills can, when you have a great offensive line and an elite quarterback, it's like, I think they can put up points on anyone. Chiefs?
Yes, three-peat.
Of course they can win.
I mean, they're the only undefeated team in the NFL.
Who will win this game? Bills.
Will the winner of this game be the number one seed in the AFC?
I think so. Yes.
Really?
I think so.
So you think the Bills are going to run the rest of the table?
Yeah. I think Bills.
I don't think so. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game and they'll be the number one seed.
So then, yes. So you do.
Yeah.
So.
It's only because Lamar and them have already lost 3 games.
Yeah.
They're in trouble.